Levelling up was always going to be a significant ask, but it has been exacerbated now by the effects of COVID-19. The inequalities that have been laid bare, they're not just geographical, there are also race inequalities, there are age inequalities, gender inequalities, all sorts that's been laid bare as a result of this pandemic.
What really matters to us is having a strong and resilient community network to rely on. Time and time again, these community networks have proved to be the most efficient way of delivering government funding to those who need it most. We simply cannot focus on the investment in our physical infrastructure. We must also invest in our social infrastructure, in our community assets and our third sector to deliver economic recovery that works for absolutely everybody.
How devolution and further devolution could have benefited our response to COVID is a really good argument to make to government, because, you know, we had local people and organisations on the ground in some areas before all of this happened that wouldn't have had you know, any kind of power over health.
So we really need to get back on thinking about, you know, how we can make our governance arrangement work for people and places across the UK, across England in particular, but kind of capital D devolution to the nations is a highly sensitive issue at the moment, and small d devolution to places across England is also highly politically sensitive at the moment. And I don't think the UK government has figured out how best to navigate some of those tensions and issues.
The left behind areas are areas where there are low levels of education participation. And although in my party there's a group of people who say too many people go to university, that is not the problem in these areas. More people need more educational opportunities. And one area I would practically devolve, I would run a competitive innovation fund out of the DFE, inviting local colleges, universities and councils to come together to pitch for extra funding for new education and training programs relative to their needs.